There's a psychological analysis of forms of living in a world where things around you can be constructed without being constructed in a methodically intelligent way. This is a marker, okay, with a broad tip and also with a fine tip, right? Human beings are systematic in their statism or their sentiments. They're formed out of acting how they should act, but nevertheless, they're better than people around you, okay? Slave ships court to nobody. They court to you being a dumbass and fucking doing the same shit over and over again. That's what a slave is. It's a form of insanity, which humans don't really understand. Now, so while I'm doing this video, I'm going to draw some shapes on a piece of paper, okay? Now, look. A triangle has something that you don't, okay? A prism has something that you don't. A square, a oval. Okay, so all these shapes have a sum of all trains. What are trains? Trains are ideas, okay? Now, with a triangle, okay, the triangle could be up or down. The triangle represents a human brain stem. It empathetically causes you to perfect your order, okay? I'm drawing an upside down triangle. Now that, okay, and the prism is opposite if it's below, okay? And the square, okay, is actually in fact a rectangle if it's below. And a circle, in fact, is actually a crescent. Okay, so basically what these shapes mean, okay, the triangle, the upper triangle right there is called an R7. The triangle represents a tactical precision, which means your cortex unlocked. The upside down triangle, or the parallel, is when your brain is subconsciously connected, okay? The prism is a portaling escape your intuition quotient formulates a system in your brainstem that makes you able to go through different people and different ideas, thought processes, logical arrogance, but still remain like intuitively narcissistic and empirical. That is called an azimuth particle. Azimuth particles are when your brainstem has the ability to look at people in the right way, but you're still courting and you're still caring. All these shapes at the top represent a psychopathic brain, but psychopathic people are not represented in a kind way. The square represents a window. A window is like you're open-minded and you're open to like saying things that like absorb your own sort of wants to like need something that like looks into you. It's like, hey, I want to do something that matters, right? Matter is a force or a thought process or a time scale or tedious empathy. The oval, which is basically a circle, same fucking thing. The oval is an ovarian sort of like looking into the world that's like systematic and trained at omnipresent level. The rectangle below the square, by the way, it means when you have a direct linear subconscious equation. So everything you do is sort of trained and sort of very it's not an open it's not an open window into the world, your world, your mind. It's more like straightforward. It's like it's a tedious sort of thing, which is in the back part of your brain. The crescent the crescent is a form of like looking at yourself in a loving way, but something that is only subconsciously connected to the left side of the brain, or the right side, depending on your gender and your sort of like your escape. But for most humans, it's on this side, which is the left side, and it's more of like a tedious sort of like a mathematical equation. So each shape has a number or a letter. So for the upper triangle, okay, I'm gonna write this. Okay, um, 6, 2, 2, E. So for this mathematical equation, what you need to understand is that the upper triangle has an M, which means managed. R means rhythmic. The 6, wait, is that 6? Yeah, it is a 6. This 6 stands for a secular. Um, and that is a 2 or Z. Okay, if you know that. 2 and Z are actually the same thing. Um, So the Z stands for Zionist, which means exactly empathetically inclined to be universal, to harbor around the earth. On the bottom, you have V, which means violent or ferocious, which are the same things. A lot of people get the mistake that people who do acts like sexual assault or sentimental sadism are inclined to do so as sociopathy, and violent means to be enraged, to have an animalistic urge. The T on the lower prism right there means tedious. It means that you're only inclined to do what is okay to your tedious narcissism. It's not what you think. Okay, L um, L right there on the rectangle means logic in a way, but it actually means lucid. It means that your brain is directly inclined to do things that are empathetically intuitive to your narcissism. And crescent moon right there, you can't really see it, but there's an X right there. I drew the X. The X means to be Xavier. It means to want to read people's minds in a tedious sort of sexually empathetic way that makes you happy only. Okay. Now I'm gonna draw some symbols real quick. Okay. So I want you to look at these symbols. Okay. Now, human empathy and brainstem activity is about looking at the world in a cognizant way, and also about living in a world. This symbol right there is called the asunali. The asunali, or A6. A6 is a representation of a money form of logic, your literal income, or your empathy. Never ever think about a piece of paper. Um, I don't have it on me. I don't have it on me. Here. See this penny right here? It's a penny, right? It means nothing. Neither does a dollar. A dollar means nothing at all. Symbols mean something only if they're created and shaped right and formed out of your sort of angled agnostic sentiment that makes your brain connected. That is called a Zuli. The Zuli is a form of living in a world where your brain kind of like contemplates empathy at every time. That's called a star. I don't care what you people think about God or Mary Magdalene or anything. Humans have the ability to transform atomic particles and energy into their brainstem, which means that if you do something that's intelligent, I can tell you how to do this, but it's illegal in a way, but it's not illegal. Understand that logical forms of education are formed out of doing things that make you seem kind of crazy, but that make you more intelligent. Child psychology is not what you think it is. I'm so sorry if you think that your toddler who likes to play with blocks and like stuffed animals needs child psychology. They don't need that. What they need is for you to get the hell off the fucking planet, or get off your high horse, or get on something that makes you more intelligent and more sentimental and inclined. Okay? So this last symbol is called the ace, and ace is Moses. The ace is an analytical psychotic psychopath with pornography in their brain, which means basically they are so affected with all your traumatic events that their brains actively look at this. Okay? Now I'm gonna write some terms down. It's P. AS. AS is a terminology for as, or has been, or is going to be. It's tedious in forms. It can also mean sentimental analysis, right? We've developed analysis through our experiences in life, and forms of looking at the world are not really cognizantly able until we do stuff that makes us more able. I have a very hard time walking around people who don't have empathy, who are these tedious slaves who train themselves to be pieces of shit that don't care about people. Um, P9. P9, also B9. P9 is pyrotechnical sentient. It's like the ability to like go into any kind of human brainstem. I have this logic that human succubi are dumbasses who do agnostic shit that's sociopathic. Skateboarders are not evil to me really, but they're mundane and psychologically unable to understand people who are intelligent in some forms. I'm not saying all the most of the professional ones are probably really cool, but the ones I grew up around were not intelligent. They had these really rich like pot farmer parents, and they would just sit there and like say dumb shit and skateboard all day. They didn't like give me my Adderall or give me like crystal meth. In fact, our parents were like these fucking weirdos who were like, crystal meth is bad for you, and like crystal meth. What do you mean? Like, dude, that's not a scientific term, fucking retard. Adderall is not even a fucking term, dipshit. Do you know what Adderall is? It's hydrocortisone, fucking retard. Nice try. Like, oh, fucking dope is bad. Like, dope? What do you mean dope? Dopamine receptors, retard? Like, Seroquel? Marijuana? Fucking, like, PCP? They just say shit because they're fucking dumb. They're like, dope is bad. My name's Ryan. I'm a hardworking sex offender buster, and I don't like drugs at all. I don't drink no more. It's like, you don't drink anymore because you probably like fucking like try to fucking like have sex with your wife when she was like too intoxicated and she got offended by you, and then you went to like AA or some Christian one like sadist fucking like pairing eye bitch program. We're like, okay, buddy, no, make sure not to use drugs or alcohol because we're real like badass. And it's like retard. The fucking microphone's like, my name's John. I'm a Christian rock singer now, and I used to do drugs. Like, you used to do drugs? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Okay, you see this one right here, this LR. It means livid right, or it means living righteously, or it means lucid lucid right lucid right. Look, humans are developing are sentimental. You're supposed to train people to become artistic, not fucking like these weirdos who fucking slave away and like take dipshit fucking like classes. Oh, I'm so offended. I went to this DUI class for about 3 months. It was so fucking stupid. The people there were like so dumb. They would sit there and they would like bitch up like the most retarded way. They'd be like, "Yeah, it's so fucked up." And the dumbass teacher was like, "My daughter died because I had a DUI." It's like, your daughter was not killed. Your daughter was not in any way killed, asshole. Killing, let me explain this to you, Mark or Joe or what the fuck your name is. Killing is when you methodically plan out to kill somebody. Okay, if I was hiding a bunch of bath salts and I was like under the influence of alcohol and somebody came up to me, right, and punched me, and I went and grabbed a rock, right, and I straight threw that rock at their head so hard their fucking head cracked open, it wouldn't be murder. It would be in your legal system, but in real life, it would be me being a methodically arrogant narcissist. No, it would be me being fucking brain injured. I mean, me being dislocated. Most humans don't fucking go out and like try to sexually assault people or hit them for no reason. Like they have to have some sort of brain contusion or injury. 4-6. 666 is a Satan worshipping term, which basically angles you to be more empathetic and logical in a way. Okay, the word six is it. The word six means sexual intuition Xavier, which means that you're able to kind of go into a brainstem and look at people. Humans are really stupid, and they think that sex is like when you put your penis in a person's vagina, but that's not what sex is. That is called intercourse. In no way, it's that we're not. Humans are fucking children, idiot. Does that make sense to you? Humans are fucking children. Nice try. I don't care if you have a job or you're a fucking slave. Papito, I work at Taco Bell and fucking and Frosted Freeze, and I work at this job and that job. I'm an adult. I'm a badass. Like, no, you're not. What you are is a fucking slave to fucking yuppie sociopathic pedophiles who think that they have a right to do what they want. Okay, in no fucking way are you goddamn fucking cool people. Okay, I'm gonna draw another picture just to show you something. Okay. I on Sun Mundre, which means trespo, which means to throw back empathy at a tedious level, which means to correlate empathy. If you saw a picture, what I just showed you, it looks like a whale. Humans are whales. Those creatures in the fucking sea or whatever, the ocean, the body of water that covers a lot of our planet, those are called hydrocorlysion. Hydrocorlysion. They are not humans. They are fucking whales. In no way. They are creatures that we do not need to care about. Well, we do care about them, but Whales are humans. Humans are the most beautiful creatures in the world, and I know this might sound kind of creepy to you because humans don't have empathy. They have the most empathy. Whales do not have empathy. Whales are like, or whatever. The simple term for them to call them is called kuna. Okay, kunas do have intelligence, but it's not like a human's intelligence, right? Intelligent people commit rapes and murders, and they marry people and they methodically internally drive the planetary system of Earth, right? Because we're all coexistent. And connectivity is about looking at world order in a way that's formulated out of sentimental incline. Um, so what's important is that you would develop humans before you try to fuck with the animals, right? The animals are not fucking cool, okay? In any way, they are just fucking doing what they should have been doing forever. They're just, in fact, they're just doing what they have to, or what they're or what is natural. They're the only fucking intimate species on planet Earth that can actually do something that's like fucking like logical. That's I think humans like dogs, right? What do you think dog means, right? Canines or Corphiles or Casina or Connie what? Dog? I have this weird abstract sort of epilogue that dogs and humans are actually biologically connected through like relation. I think that maybe dogs are related to humans. I mastered a form of martial arts called the akunali, which it translates to Aikido. Aikido is basically when your body becomes like an animal, and you can actually transform yourself into. It's more like this. It's when your body is so reactive to automatic states of like combat sessions, where you can basically like trick yourself into becoming like an animal or something. You can sort of like look at the world like it's animalistic in sort of a way, but not in like the creepy way. Like so you can become one with like a grizzly bear or like a dog or like a dog or a lion or a sloth or like a frog, I guess, but not really. Only mammals. Whales are not mammals, by the way. Um, Walruses are not mammals either. Only things that are on Earth on the flat ground are mammals. Primates are mammals. Sloths are mammals. Grizzly bears are mammals. Tigers are mammals. Um, Ostriches are not mammals. What they are managed nothing. Okay. So sorry for taking so long to the video, but I'm gonna stop this video because I don't want to talk anymore. But something you should know. Please understand that drugs are not bad for you. Um, what's bad for you is an illogical sense of forming yourself out of cognizant sociopathy. So, um, for somebody who does something because you have to, because your brain told you it was okay, but you didn't really understand right from wrong, don't be a bitch. Sexual sadism and sexual offending is a different thing. Offending someone sexually is when you literally brainwash them into thinking that they are worthless. Um, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who were like raped as people in the eyes of like the masses that were actually not raped, that were sexually molested, which means that their brains were bothered a little bit. Um, and those people don't really have any empathy because they were not trained through that sexual assault or whatever, or that so-called sexual molestation. They were trained through like being fucking like given like courtings for no reason. They're like, oh, you know what? Oh, Janine, oh, you were sexually assaulted by him. Oh, it's so wrong that you had to go through that. And most of the time, I think that they don't actually really have any sexual assault history. I think they're actually just being fucking punks and pussies, and they're just saying shit to you to like get themselves like on this like sort of like pedestal where they can like go, oh look at us, like we're like Christians and we're badasses, like oh like you're so, no, I'm against like sexual assault and against like rape and murder and drugs and like okay, I don't know, like do you, well how about that? I'll just observe you from like a view and sort of look at you like you're fucking stupid. I'm like, well I already know everything, so I guess your world is cool, right? Is it? Or maybe it's not. I don't know.